Okay, let's start our lesson. Uh, uh, Good morning, class.
Understand.
Okay, today we're going to look at the insulation test that is normally performed on after installation. Last week we looked at the installation. Now we're going to do the testing now after installation. And before that, let me uh, call the register. Uh, Jonah Kibet.
Present, sir.
Arrington Kimgeno. uh, Annington Kimgena. Okay. Let's continue. Bushenei.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, One of our members. Maybe you can mute on. You can mute your mic. Now let's look at. Ask ourselves what is test insulation test. Maybe if I can ask you, Annington. Okay, Annington, I can't hear you. Uh,
I said it's an important aspect of electrical engineering and maintenance. It is we do it to ensure the safety and reliability of systems.
Okay. Yes, that is correct. Insulation test is really an important aspect in the insulation or in the maintenance of the building or installation, ensuring the quality and the integrity of the installation. So it is normally performed to ensure that there's no leakage of current in the or leakage of current, or there's no short. The cables that has been installed in the building is not naked. So that is the main reason why we do installation. That is the purpose. So I'll say that purpose is testing is performed to assess the quality and integrity of insulation in an electric system. Again, it helps to identify potential faults such as degraded insulation, moisture, and contamination. Over time, insulation of cables may degrade, or rather may be contaminated, and it may lead to the shorting. The cables may short. So that is the main reason why we do test insulation test. uh, we have the equipments that we normally use. The equipment used is the resistance tester, or what we call a megometer for that procedure. Um, the function of the tester is to tell you whether there is a leakage in the connection. When you power using the device, when you power the cables using the device, you measure the resistance of the device, of the cables. So when you measure the resistance of the cables, if the resistance is not to the point that is expected, it should be very high. The resistance should be very high, so that when the resistance is very high, then you'll know that there's no leakage in the cables. So that tells you the integrity. But when there's the resistance is small, then that tells you that there's leakage, and you need to examine, or you need to replace the cables. Okay, so the equipment we use is called a resistance tester or megometer. Uh, the procedure. Okay, what you do is that you have your cables that you've already installed. You have the positive or live cable, then you have the neutral. So in the test, in this insulation tester, you have two probes, one for connecting to the live, the red one you connect to the live, the second one you connect to the neutral, and then you power, you know, you power the cables. So if the cables are if the cables have very high resistance, after powering you measure the resistance. If it gives you a very high resistance, then you know the cables have integrity. If it gives you a small value, say 500 ohms and below, that tells you that it lacks integrity. But if it is very high, in fact, should go to infinity, then that tells you that there's integrity in the connection. Now, um, now we also have the test voltage and the insulation resistance. Uh, we power. I said we power we power we power the cables. We give it a very high voltage so that it can tell us if there's a leakage. So we give it a very high voltage. So the connection on the end, let's say now the equipment should not be connected to the sockets or the rather the socket should not be connected to any device when you are conducting insulation test. The values I've told you should be very high. When it is very high, then you know that is when it is very high, you know that is it has the cables has integrity. If it is very low, then you know that it lacks the integrity. So that is that. So that is how you do the troubleshooting and telling whether your house has integrity or not. We have other tests that we normally do again after that to ascertain the the integrity of the building. We have earth resistance tests that is normally done. We have earth loop impedance that is also conducted. We will look at that uh, in the next lesson. But for today, unless any one of you has a question, is there anyone with a question? Otherwise, if you don't have a question, I'll hand the lesson there and we'll meet next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.